Hello and welcome back to Headquarters. Today we're going to be adding a little bit of a different video to the channel. I'm going to do my Blender tutorial video for you guys, just to kind of show you how I run Blender to make my videos. And so any of you who have seen my videos and you know the style and the quality of my videos, I'm going to show you guys how to do that today. And so let's get into it. So thank you guys for watching. If you clicked on the video, chances are you needed to know a little bit how to edit some videos in Blender. Blender is super cool because it's free. And so if you want to skip ahead of this, I'm going to do a little spiel right now, kind of why I use Blender. If you want to skip ahead of that, you can click ahead. I'll put the times in the description. You can just click where you want. But anyway, I use Blender because it's a free software, and that's super awesome. It's also very kind of advanced. You can use it for many things. And I use it for video editing. It may not be the perfect video editor. It may not be the best video editor by any means. There's probably a lot of video editors out there that are much better. However, I use Blender because it's free, and now that I know how to use it, it actually works really well. And so if you're interested to see how the videos turn out, check out some of the other videos on my channel. I'll put a link around here somewhere, and you can check some of those out. And so today we're going to jump right into Blender. I'm going to show you how I personally use it. If you know a better way, that's great. I do not know everything about this software. This is just the way I do it. These are the steps I use into making my videos the quality that they are. And so if you enjoyed the video, click a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see any of my other content. Maybe this is the type of content you're looking for and you don't want to subscribe. That's cool. Whatever you want. And so anyway, first step is open Blender. Straightforward, right? Chances are you have Blender. If you're looking at how to use it, you should have Blender already. So open Blender and you'll see this. First thing, actually, I'm going to get rid of my head here because you don't need to see me for this. So see ya. And now, once you have Blender open, click Video Editing, and it will bring you up to this interface. This interface is where you do the entire amount of your editing. It's very straightforward. There are little tips and tricks that just make the editing 100 times easier. The very first thing that I do personally is I set my output. And the reason I set my output is because I don't want, after I finish editing my video and do everything else, I don't want this to just be in a temporary place or not in where I want it to be. So I set a location for my output, and for this I'm going to put it in Final Videos. Then I change the file format because PNG is photos and you don't want photos. I change it to FFmpeg video. This is the video. It's very good quality video. Make sure this is clicked to RGB. That's red, green, blue. That's not black and white. You want your video to have color. Then I click encoding. I scroll down. Output quality is the next thing you're looking for, and I set mine to perceptually lossless. It is set to medium quality, and it will render just that at medium quality. You can set it to high quality. The only difference between these qualities is clearly what the end result of your video is going to be, but also the file size of your video. And so I don't need constant bitrate or lossless because that file size is massive, and I personally don't find a difference between perceptually lossless and lossless as far as quality is concerned. The size of the file, however, is significantly different between the two, and so I use perceptually lossless just for those reasons that I've mentioned. Also, you're going to want to check your audio. If it says no audio, your video is going to have no audio. Pretty straightforward, right? So I use MP3, simple audio output, nothing crazy. So now is where we can drag and drop our video file. And so I'm going to drag and drop this video and then put this back. So now I have my video file in here. As you can see, this frame rate has just changed to 60 frames per second, which is what we want. We want 60 frames per second when the video edits. That's how the video is already formatted, right? So now, as you can see here, this is the highlighted region. If you push play and allow this highlighted region to play out, that's all that's going to play, and it's just going to snap back to the beginning, and you're not going to be able to see your finished product. So what you want to do is extend this region, and the easiest way to do that is you see this number right here just after the backslash or the straight slash, 108561. Down here in the corner, you'll see start and end. This is the frames of your region. So you're going to want to click this and add that number, 108561. For me, that's what it was. Your number will be different. Now, as you can see, the highlighted region has increased. So now we are encompassing this entire video. If I push play, it will play out the entire about 30-minute clip nonstop. But if you could see what was just happening there, watch this region up here. You'll see that it's kind of laggy. It doesn't play properly, you know, and when I drag it across here, it's really glitchy. I will show you how to fix that in just a second. So, first thing I do is click your audio. The bottom file is your audio. Click display waveform and mono. Mono will actually, if you do not click mono, the audio will only be received in one headphone of whatever device the person is listening to it on. So if you have speakers set up to your computer, say you have, you know, external speakers set up to any audio equipment you're running, only one side is going to run. If you click mono, however, the audio will be evenly distributed between both headphones or both sides of the audio. So now that you've clicked also display waveform, you can see here, this is all quiet region, this is quiet region, and then audio, you know, amongst different. So this is your audio clip right here. That's what I was just getting at. So next thing you're going to want to do, highlight your video portion. And in order to fix the chopping, the real choppy editing that you're doing here, what you're going to want to do, highlight your video, go here to proxy and cache. Click select, set selected strip proxies, 25%. And then right here, rebuild proxy and timecode indices. You'll click that. Now, a little loading bar has popped up just here. And also it will pop up here. So now that you see this little loading bar, you'll notice that it says time elapsed about 12 seconds, time remaining about 10 minutes. It will normally, depending on your size, your file size, it will take about the time of your video, depending on how fast your computer runs. If your computer runs generally faster, then it will actually run this pretty fast. My computer runs pretty fast, and so this should actually be done in about 15 minutes at best. So while that's happening, you'll want to change this right here, your view size. So you go up here to view, sidebar, go over here to view, this new tab that's popped up, and then click scene render size, and you're going to set this to that same proxy 25%. Now, as you can see here, the quality of this has severely decreased, right? Let me get rid of this sidebar. The quality of this is severely decreased. The reason for that is because you've essentially just removed 75% of the resolution here. And the reason we're doing that is because as soon as this proxy is finished rendering, this is the entire video clip is going to be set at 75% capacity. 25% resolution capacity. And what that means is that you will only be seeing 25% of the pixels in the viewfinder up here. And so if I click another area, you see this is quite poor quality. That is because this is set to 25%. The view is set to 25%. The actual video is not yet, and that's what we're doing here. We're rebuilding this proxy to 25%. The reason we do that is because the resolution loads faster when the resolution is lower, if that makes any sense. Since the resolution is lower, we are going to be able to scale and map through this much faster. Depending on how long your video is, this could take, if you have recorded for an hour or an hour and a half, 2 hours, who knows? If you've recorded for that amount of time, this could take quite a while. And so be prepared for this to take, depending on what your video length is, upwards of an hour or more. Like I said, my computer runs a little bit faster, and so it actually works pretty quick. And so that being said, I will see you as soon as this is done, because the next portion we cannot do without this happening. And the next portion is the fun part. It's all the creativity and everything you can do creatively. And so I will see you in about, for you it'll be about 10 seconds. For me it will be about 9 minutes. So I will see you then. All right, welcome back. So now that we've done that, as you can see, you see how much smoother this is? That we can go through and edit. It just makes our lives a lot easier. So now we can get into the fun part, the creative part, where we can actually edit our clips. We're all set up, it's all saved, ready to render out. Now that we're all ready to do the creative step, we will do one more thing. File, save, create a save title. So for mine, this is Super Mario 3 video. And I will click where I want it to be saved. And I save mine into unedited because this video is not edited yet. Save Blender file, and there we go. Now, if we exit out, we can click right back into it, come right back into this, and that's very handy. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to actually edit, or how I edit and clip all this information out, right? And so all this area, I use these audio cues as kind of when any of the action is going on. So all this area here is just blank space. There's nothing there. There's no content. And since I was the one that recorded the video, I know kind of where the content is, where the content's not. And so I can kind of pick and choose, okay, right about here is where the content starts. So I highlight these two areas and click K, and that will actually separate the clips, as you can see. Then what I do, simply just delete that portion of the clip. I don't need that information anymore, right? So then I will zoom right back into here, and then I will simply click space, and that will start the video playing. Today we're going to be adding a whole new series to the channel. And so now I know that that's my intro, and I want to save that. And so I'm actually going to shut off the desktop audio so you can just hear me speak for now, and then we'll get right back into it. And so we're going to do that same exact thing, listen to whatever clip you want, and then edit those portions out. I'll show you another trick here. K is to cut, as though I just said. And so you'll find a portion that maybe you want to cut here and here, and just remove this snippet. You do just that. And then you can either leave this space open to insert new files, which I'll show you in a minute, or you can simply highlight whatever area you would like to move and then drag. And these areas can overlap as much as you want. And when you let go, they will snap to end. It's very handy. Beware, if you move and you accidentally move down and you let go, you just removed your audio file. And so you'll have to Control Z to undo, and now it's all back. So just beware of that. And I actually insert a new file right here for my intro. And so I'm going to leave this open for now because later I will add an intro. And so now I'm going to edit my video a little bit. I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut and kind of put this back together. And as soon as I get to a portion where I need to show you guys some new information, I will stop and show you guys some new stuff. So I will see you in just a second. Alright, so now that I've edited a good portion of my video here, I've actually found a spot in the video where I want to do a little bit of something different. All I've been doing so far is cutting and removing. Now there's a scene right in here where I actually want to zoom in. Does that make sense? And so what I'm going to do is right here where I embarrass myself by dying to the red Koopa, I am going to add an effect strip, and it's going to be a transformation. So in order to do this, you have to have it cut the exact portion you want the transformation to take place. So for example, I have not edited any of this or cut any of this out. If I added an effect strip here, it would add for the entire portion, and I don't want to do that. I only need it for this few seconds here. And so what's going to happen is you add it just for this. Now, when your cursor is over the transformation area, you will be able to see what transformation you're adding to your video clip. If it's not, you won't be able to see this because you're viewing this portion of video. So you have to leave your cursor over this area here. So highlight your transformation strip, click where it says strip right here, and now you can see all these new options pop up where you can transform this area. And so normally I use the transformation for zooming and moving around on the camera. So for this area in particular, I'm going to play the video and then edit the parts that I want to edit. So as you can see, right here is the realization that I suck at this game. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click this transformation strip. I'm going to click this right here, uniform scale. You don't have to click uniform scale, but what uniform scale does is it turns both the X's and Y into one number to where you can scale just simply in and simply out, if that makes sense. So you can unclick this and you can just zoom in the X and just zoom in the Y if that's what you need to do. However, for this purpose, what I'm using it for just now, I don't need to do that. I'm just going to uniform scale it in. So I'm going to do what's called inserting a keyframe. And to insert a keyframe, you're just going to use I on your keyboard, hover over the area that you want the keyframe to be inserted. So I, and I. You'll see they turn yellow. So this is where they're inserted right here. Up until this point, this has been the normal edit. Now I want this to zoom in and move to just my face to truly capture how bad I am at this game, right? Because I just realized that I suck quite badly. And so now that I've zoomed into the spot that I want to be zoomed in on, I can simply click Insert Keyframe, Insert Keyframe, Insert Keyframe, and now when I play, the rest of the video will play out that way. And so it will start off like so. Once I've inserted that keyframe, it will zoom in to show my embarrassment, right? But up until that point, it won't. So you can see it zooms in just at that point. So that's inserting a keyframe and that's adding a transformation. Okay. Now you can add text to this area as well. So what you'll do, the text is slightly different. So you can add text, and the text will add wherever your cursor is currently at, and it will add this size box every time. If you want to make this larger, which would mean making it last longer throughout your video, you simply highlight the end and then pull, and that's it. And now it's bigger. And then you can move it around however you feel. The reason I'm going to add text is because I'm going to emphasize how much I suck in this portion. And so I'm going to add text right here. I'm going to add embarrassment in 3. And then what will happen is when this is scrolled over, you'll see the text popped up right here. Well, that's not where I want it, and I don't want it that small. So I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to change the color of the text, and then I can change the location here. See? And so I'm going to put it about centered, as close to centered as I can, which would be 0.5, and then have it at about that portion of the screen. Right here, this is your fonts tab. Click font, and now you have all these fonts to choose from. I normally use like this. It's like comic. It's just kind of funny. But as you can see, it didn't update. See? So it's like, wait a minute. I don't want it to look like this. I want it to look like comic, right? So a way to get that to happen is right click, go to duplicate strips, and set this strip just above it in the exact same spot. And then click your original strip and delete it. And now this will be here. So as you can see, I put embarrassment in 3. Well, that's how long it's going to play. It's just going to say embarrassment in 3. But I want it to do kind of a countdown. And I need it to line up just about right. So what we'll do is right over here where it says embarrassment in 3, you can count these down. So right here is 59. So at 70 or 17, I will cut this. And then at 1, I will cut this again. And then at 2, I will cut this again. So I can actually delete this because now I've got 1, 2, and then 3 seconds to right there. And then I will cut this. So that's exactly 3 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, embarrassment, right? And so what you'll do though, since it still says 3, and we don't want it to still say 3, what you'll do is highlight the area that you want to change. Come over here to your text, simply delete the 3 and add the 2, and click enter. Now it goes 3, 2, it says 3 again, however. So all you'll do now is add 1. It's very, very simple. And so we'll go embarrassment in 3, 2, 1, embarrassment. See what I mean? And so it's just kind of a simple way to add some pretty advanced stuff in Blender. And again, this is a free software, and this is quite handy. So real quick before we continue, if you want to watch the video that I'm currently editing right now, it will be on my channel. I'm going to upload that video at the same time as I upload this one. And so if you want to see that video, check it out on my channel. I will put a link around here somewhere. I will also put a link in the description. And if you want to finish watching this video first before you go find that video, maybe you're interested in watching the full edit, then at the end of this video, there will be a couple of cards. You can just click on whichever video you'd like to go see. And I will show you in that video the quality of what this rendered out as. And yeah, you can see it then. So I'm going to continue editing this. Whenever I come up with something new or something that I want to show you guys, I will be back. Okay, now that I have finished cutting and adding anything that I want to add into this video, as you can see, everything is tight and pulled together here. Every time I cut something, I pull it all back together, except for this portion right here. And like I was saying earlier, the reason I did that is because this portion here, I'm going to add what my intro is. And so in order to do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your cursor, this timeline right here, you're going to want to set it where you want to add your strip, right? Then I will take my, where'd they go? Intros and outros, and I will take my intro right here, and I will just drag and drop, just like we dragged and dropped the original file. Now, oops, wrong button, no big deal. Now, as you can see, these are two different files. They're two different lengths. And so what's going to happen is I'll play this, and this is going to play, but the audio underneath doesn't match. And so now there's this big empty space that we don't want. So all I have to do, it's very simple. Zoom in here. 15089. Grab this right here. Drag it back. 15089. And now they're both the exact same length. You can drag these, plop it right there. You can drag this and plop it right there, and boom. Now it's a seamless cut between that and the intro. It's very simple. However, as you can see, we can't see the audio clue for this. So what we want is, again, display waveform and mono. But you can see, look how much bigger this audio is compared to this audio. We don't want that. That's very loud compared to what our other audio is. So in order to do that, you probably guessed it. There's a little volume switch right here. You can click these arrows here, and that will bring it down by one at a time, right? Until you can get it to where, oh, that looks kind of relative. Or if you want to just click here and adjust it up or down, you can do that as well. I normally just click the arrows because it's just a few, but boom, and now that's all lined up. Another thing is I have an outro card that I want to edit, and an outro card is actually just an image and then my audio, which I've turned into my outro video. And so again, what you're going to want to do, select your cursor, bring it right to where you want it, and then select your outro and insert, just like that. And now, problem solved. Again, we're going to want to do this, display waveform, mono, and turn this sucker way down where it doesn't need to be quite so loud, you know. And so now we've done that and we're good to go. But as you can see, we have about 4 minutes, right at 4 minutes of time here that's just open. And the only reason that is I cut out a large chunk and then with every cut I made here, I slid some forward. And so we've got a large portion of time here that's also cut out. And so it makes it look like our video is almost 22 minutes long when, however, we have this empty space up here. So what we're going to want to do, make a box, highlight everything. Make sure you highlight everything in one. Set your cursor, this button right here will set your cursor back to the front. Then you can just simply zoom in, grab, pull back to the front until, oops, make sure it's all highlighted, and then make sure that this gets dragged. This will actually be at 1, and so you'll have to set this to 0 if this is at 0, just so it encompasses everything. Now, we're at about an 18-minute video, give or take, and we have all this empty space back here. Very simple. You do just what you did in the beginning. Find this number, 63398. Put it right here. 63398. Enter. And now, boom, it encompasses your entire video perfectly. I don't think you have to do this next step in order for it to render. However, I do just for safety. I highlight everything to make sure this is everything that gets rendered out. And now, in order to render, all you do is go up here to this render right here. Render animation, and that's it. It will open the secondary window, and this is it loading the rendering. Do not close this window out completely, but you can minimize it and you will be fine. Now this will open another loading bar down here, and this is what is rendering your frames. This is the amount of frame that's been rendered so far, the current frame that it's on. This is the amount of frames you have total to render. So as you can see, we're only at about 500 of 63,000. So this does take a significant amount of time. However, but when you're done, it will render out at the maximum resolution, which is 1920 by 1080p, which is high quality resolution. If you are in question about how my videos look after they've been rendered, check out some of my other content. Just click into it, watch the first 10 seconds. You'll see that the quality is unmatched. So it's really no big deal. Again, this down here will show you time remaining about 43 minutes. This portion right here takes roughly 3 times the amount of time as your video is. And the only reason for that is it's trying to render every frame to maximum resolution. And it does take a good amount of time. So now you just wait. You can also see down here, when you minimize this green bar, this is actually the loading bar also for when this will be done. And so once that's full, you're good to go and your video will be rendered. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This was just a quick Blender on how I use Blender to edit my videos. I will upload more Blender editing videos if I come across anything that I think I've figured out that maybe some people don't know. I just had several people asking me to show kind of how I edit my videos and how my videos personally come across. Blender has so many things that's just untouched, as the things you can do, adding text and things like that, and adding different transformations and transitions between things. It's really a lot of fun. And so if you're interested in getting into any video editor and you're looking for just a free editor, I recommend Blender. It's, again, free. It's quite good for comparable to the quality of others that you've seen. I mean, if you go out and you click on any other gaming video or any other YouTube video for that matter, and you compare it to the videos that I edit, I mean, the quality it's kind of right there. It doesn't really change. And so, I mean, the camera is a lot of everything with any face cam and things like that. The quality also depends on what your computer's running as. I'm not saying that this is a one-size-fits-all tutorial, but if you found any of this interesting, consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and I really appreciate this. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out some of my other content, and click that subscribe, maybe turn the bell on if you want. I'm up to 104 subs. I would like to obviously increase that, and so every sub helps me a lot. It's like a small part on your side, and it really helps me out. And so thank you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye for now.